Dude. Here I am. I got 2 gigs.
And boom.
Yeah, boom. Yeah. Yo. What's crack-a-lacking? All you lovely people out there. Appreciate you joining us again on this lovely Thursday afternoon with myself and Doogie Hound MD over here. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We got a good show for you lined up as always. Got Kameel Gaines on the show. We had Charlie Safro not too long ago talked about logistics recruiting as a whole, and Kameel is going to be with us and talk about you drivers, the things that y'all need to do and not do to set yourself up for success in the driving job market. Also, we're going to touch on a little bit of on the news. We're going to run another video tonight, and I want y'all to tell us who you think is at fault when it comes to this incident. So y'all sit back, relax, pop a top, and enjoy the lounge. Mr. Hound.
Mr. Potato.
How you doing?
You go first.
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just another day in freight, man. You know, nothing too exciting. Thought I was going to finish all these new prospecting emails, but I went back and read them all and redid like 75% of them. Got a few prospecting calls out of the way, so that was good. And trying to you saw my post, trying to get that damn trailer thing figured out, bro.
Hey, I am Team Pedro when it comes to that, because I know who the customer is and I know the pain that they are going through. So like,
it's actually not. It's not her though.
It's
not
different?
her, dude. It is. It's a guy that I met at a plant convention that I went to with one of my other customers last August. Man, I've been fucking with this guy for literally almost a year, and like I said, he's been kicking tires and shit, dude. You know what I mean? And then finally, when he sends me something, he sends me some shit because nobody else can figure it out. You know, which is fine, dude. I'm all for that. And I love trailers. This is great because I've moved, I don't know how many trailer loads in my time as a broker, and I've never, ever had to use one of these trailers, never even heard of it. So I'm into it even more because it's a learning experience for me, dude, you know?
Yeah.
But
I feel like this is one of those times though, man, like, especially if they're local to Texas or like, is this guy local to Texas? Is he close to you?
He lives here now because of the business, but he's not the one manufacturing them. He's coincidentally sending them to someone that Allie actually knows. That's the funny
dude. You're sitting in a little like you're sitting in a little spot, bro. Let's start up the lounge trucking group, man. I'll get in a hot shot,
dude. I'll tell you, man. Hey, even Corey was hollering at me, bro. To like we were talking earlier.
He came up with a good idea, man, dude. Call those trailer manufacturers, see who's or like the kind of trailer you need. Find them locally, call them, see who bought them, and then call those people.
Well, no, I mean I'm talking about like Corey, like getting equipment to do it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. Like we've talked about this a few times, but anyway, another fucking story and shit. So, but anyway, yeah, that's it, man. Just trying to figure that out. I think I got the people I need to do it. I just need the rest of the details from this guy. So we'll see how that shakes out, man. But besides that, just fucking chilling. How about you, homie?
Man, you know, another day in paradise. Just doing the damn thing, man. Making phone calls, making friends. Trying to get these people their wine, spirits, and beer. PCT Logistics. Give me a shout. Oh, I got my business cards in today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, bro. Check these out. Good stock, too. Shows our little service area on the back. Boom.
Oh, that's fucking nice.
Swank, man. It's swank. I love some good business cards. So, gonna get them out there. Perfect timing, too. Going to the Nashville Transportation Club Happy Hour Day. Shout out John Brewer. And shout out to Jeff Dickinson. The Old Dogs podcast launching tomorrow, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah, teaching new dogs old tricks.
Still waiting on that invite, fellers. If you're watching, I'm gonna get John here tonight.
I know. You figured we would be the first guest on their show.
I don't even care if like we contribute. I just want to sit in the room and just be there for day one. But
Yeah.
it seems like they're gonna have like a pretty cool platform, man. Like people can chime in, kind of like a lounge thing. Like if you have questions, come on in and talk about it. So it'll be
Oh,
good, man. That's gonna be one of the shows I do watch.
I,
Um,
I agree, man. I watch the one Jeff does with Christy.
yeah,
I like that one. They always have some really good guests and shit on there, dude. And I
yeah.
mean Jeff and John, like that's gonna be great stuff, man.
I mean, what a duo. I
I,
mean, they're not us, but
that's
but I mean, yeah. If you're a new broker, new driver, like even experienced, man, like the plethora and depth of knowledge that those two have about the industry combined is insane. Like it's you could pay $1,000 to watch that one show, but they're doing it for free, so y'all check it out. But day's been good, man. Day's been good. It's almost
That's
Friday.
good, bro. That's good. Nothing like a good smooth selling day in this damn industry because sometimes they can be hard to fucking come by. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the tough days too. They make things a little easier, but all good on the Western Front. What's with the news today, bro?
Uh, I'll get to that in a minute. First, we need to talk about the surest thing that there is,
Oh,
and I mean that's sure line. I guess we're actually going to have to talk about another sure thing, which is Gigo, because you for sure are going to be able to know where your freight is when you're using Gigo and their live GPS tracking system. Mr. Redneck, what's crack-a-lackin', bro? Cephas, good to see you. Good to see you. And oh, hey, thanks for helping hooking me up with the CDL people, man. Really appreciate that. Mr. Corey, yours must have been burning. We were just talking about you. Only bad things, always bad things. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, we just want you to know. Just know that. All right. News is well, really quite not news again. All right, so I actually posted this earlier today on my LinkedIn. What you're looking at right here is actually a picture from an accident that happened here in actually I'm not sure where it is. I want to say Texas, but regardless, what it is a tractor trailer collided with a Honda SUV, or actually a Honda Element, not quite an SUV, and then that word ran into a church. And I put it out there. I watched the video, put it on my LinkedIn, wanted to get some feedback. Personally, I have my opinion on who is responsible for the accident, but just thought I'd put this out there and let y'all be the judge of it. But also to give some warning to show, hey, anything can happen anytime out there on the roads, as y'all all know. Just like this driver here was cruising down the road, not even had a trailer behind him, and shit got really quick. So let me pull this one down, and I'll pull the video up. And Hunter, you watch it, and you also let me know what your take on it is, man.
For sure.
Let's see here. Boom and boom. All right, there we go. We're watching it. All right, y'all can see the Honda Element pulls up, doesn't even fucking stop, rolls across. Bam!
Yeah, that's the car's fault.
Dude,
100%.
look at that. See, now why do you say it's the car's fault?
Rewind it just a little bit. right to where they were rolling straight through that stop sign. Boom. Nobody coming from the left side. Why not? I didn't even see the brake lights turn on. I know the video's kind of far away, but yeah, like
All right. So and I'm only doing this just for value of the show. Okay, so let's go back. We say that it's the car. Yeah, we can tell that the vehicle it does a California stop. That's what we call it, or I call it. But 1, 2, 3, but basically about 3.5, 4 seconds for that individual rolling into the intersection before the truck collides with it. So I'm going to assume that speed limit is probably 60 miles an hour, but could the truck have gone over maybe into the other lane and avoided it? I mean, what it didn't even look like they even hit their brakes to even try to slow down.
I mean, it looks like a 2-lane road with a median to me. So yeah, I'm blaming the car. That's not that truck's fault. Like,
I blame the car too, bro.
yeah, that's it.
I do. I do.
Are they trying to blame the truck?
No, man. The article by CDL Life, it just states basically what you see here in the video. That the truck collided with it. I don't know if there's any new updated stuff on who's being charged, but you and I both know that they likely tried to charge the driver with this at first.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they had a dash cam, but this video right here is, I mean, this is going to change everything. They probably didn't have this obviously right after it happened. Had to go get this video, but I mean they didn't. That motherfucking install. I guarantee you. Here's exactly what I feel happened. They rolled up to that stop sign, saw that semi truck coming, and was like, "Oh, let me beat the semi truck across the intersection," and that's what they did. Now, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's trees and stuff, or buildings over here.
Where?
I'm saying, out of frame that you can't see. Maybe they didn't see him, but
I mean, dude, that's a big shiny rolling object coming at you pretty quickly. So
yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. So
yeah, not playing Switzerland on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing Switzerland either. I feel that the vehicle is at fault simply because it didn't come to a complete stop. To me, that right there ends it all. I'm not saying that if they have came to a complete stop, would it have mattered? No, but I mean,
that 4 seconds you counted down. If they would have stopped right there, by the time it took to accelerate and get out there, I mean,
that's very true. Very true. So yeah, I think it's 100% the Honda's fault right there. And obviously, and I don't know what happened to the people in the vehicle. I believe another article I said that they were fine, just minor injuries. But that driver, you can see they crashed into that church there. So that driver is not only out of their truck and stuff, you know what I mean, but now they're obviously going to be dealing with insurance and all that stuff too. So
yeah, not good.
Yeah, absolute disaster. Let's see. Hello, Stevie. You said the truck.
Dude.
No, man, no, I don't. I do not. I feel it was 1,000% the vehicle's fault. Definitely the car fault. A rolling stop is not a stop. I agree with you, man. Like I said, Franklin, I think they pulled up there and honestly saw the semi and were like, oh, let me see if I can beat this thing to the damn intersection. I bet you that's exactly what happened. So, man.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, all said and done. Hey, but before we get to Kameel, I like that shirt, dude. I just noticed that. That's a sick fucking Grateful Dead shirt, dude.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it, man. I paid a pretty penny for it from this dude out in Hawaii, but it is the Spring '94 tour, which is the year that I was born. So, in the spring of '94. So, yeah, bro. Good times, man. I appreciate that.
That's pretty badass. That's pretty bad. Okay, here we are. The lovely Kameel Gaines.
Hey, I like that.
What's up, Kameel? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Yeah. What about
y'all? You heard. We're just making it. We're just two brokers trying to buy our next G-Wagon.
I know that's right.
Well, I mean, a broker and a kind of broker.
I saw his cards. He's official. Get the heavy cards. I saw him.
Right here.
I'm a girl too. Got a like card. But I do think it's the car's fault. I saw that video. It's definitely the car's fault.
Yeah, I agree, 1,000%.
Can't do a rolling stop.
Nope. And just like Hunter pointed out, I feel the same way. I'm sure everybody else agrees. If that car would have stopped, they would have missed the truck. You know what I mean? Or seen it again. I don't know what's outside of that frame. Maybe there's another building in the way. I don't know. But regardless, it was a rolling stop, and 1,000% their fault. So I'm just glad they're okay. But obviously, feel sorry for everybody involved, including the driver, including that church. You know what I mean?
But they gonna go praise the Lord at night.
I know. I know that's right. Hey, church people, they don't give a dang, Kameel. Hey, they're going to put some plywood up over that hole, and on Sunday, it's going to be a full house, and they're going to be praising Jesus.
Yeah, they're going to have one of them white tents out there.
That's right. Have a revival. Yeah. Oh, what about you, Kameel? How was your day? How's your week been so far?
I am glad tomorrow's Friday, even though I do work Saturday and Sunday. But it's something about Friday that makes me feel like I'm free. By closing that door on Friday, that I just feel like it's Friday. But I'm glad about that. But it's pretty good. After this, I have to go downtown Houston for work, but I'm feeling pretty good. Especially if some whiskey is involved downtown Houston.
Good. Man, what is it? Ooh, man. Downtown Houston at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Ooh, damn it.
Yeah, that's traffic by the time.
Oh, that's gonna suck. What you got? You got what kind of job stuff you doing down in the Mount Assassin?
Well, no, I don't. I'm the head of jobs with tractortrailer.com. So got to meet with some clients and get some work-ins going with all of that. So that's what we're doing.
Good, fun time.
Hands, kissing babies, making connections.
As we call it in the military, the dog and pony show.
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's all it fucking is. All right, Kameel. We start off every guest with this question, and that is, who is Kameel Gaines, and how did you become the CEO of Rig on Wheels?
Well, I started in my living room almost 15 years ago. I've been in sales forever. That's all I've ever done is sales. I don't know literally anything else. When folks say, what else would you do if you weren't doing, and I'll say some other type of sales, and they say, well, other than sales, and I'm like, well, I don't know, because I've never experienced anything else other than maybe a bagger, when I was 14 years old at the grocery store. But so I started out with recruiting, doing that, and then start scaling from there. And so that's how that role went. So I went from being the only recruiter and having to be everything until then I consider it being more or less like a manager role, and then eventually being the CEO.
Okay, Kameel. Look, that was too short.
That was too short, huh?
We're gonna need more.
I need some meat and butter, or
some
meat. Call it meat and potatoes. I'm really not good at saying, as y'all know.
Yeah.
So, so I started it 15 years ago, almost, in Chicago. I'm living in Houston now, so I started like literally 1,000 square foot home in Chicago in my living room. That's where I was. And I remember my first recruit, everybody does. It was a lady. She was a recent grad and recruited for Star England. I remember that. Everybody remembers their first driver they ever recruited. So I do remember that. And then from there, just continue to recruit, of course, and then eventually moved to Houston, still recruiting, but start doing more of scaling. So what I meant by that is I started bringing other agencies under Rig on Wheels. and then I knew I needed to start also replacing myself. But at first I was just trying to bring on somebody to help me, like more or less like a recruiting coordinator, right? But when I brought her on, I brought Raven on, I realized like, okay, she got a lot of gusto. So I said, this is who I need to utilize to replace me from recruiting. And that began more of the management space of things. So we have recruiters in 5 different countries, including United States, of course, but globally. But we only support, the companies here. So we're very diverse. So we have recruiters that speak several different languages: English, Spanish, Punjabi, Hindi. So we're able, and of course, all of our drivers that we recruit speak English, but drivers for American trucking companies speak all of those languages. So it's great to have people that represent who you are. We all feel comfortable, because I remember when I used to be on the phone and I would talk to someone from Chicago, our communication was so different. It doesn't matter if he was black, white, Chinese, Asian, it did not matter, because I literally we spoke the same language because we were both from Chicago, right? So it was like that. So it really helps with that. And then so that's where the CEO role came in, and just stepped into the awareness more with the DEI, because I'm walking, talking DEI. I just believe in all the diversity and representation of making sure people with different cultures, backgrounds, education, all of that, so because representation matters. It's so important. It matters.
Yeah, that's about everything right there. So
Yeah,
how did you
absolutely. That's how I know, that with those people running into that church, they're gonna have that white tent out there that's in Angelo. The weather is pretty good. So it's not like Chicago, right? That would be right now the weather is nice. But in San Angelo, typically the weather is always going to be good. So it's always going to be a white tent, right? Because of the area that they're in geographically, right? So all of those things make a difference. So just stepping into that space.
All right,
So how
Kameel.
did you get to this space? I know you said you've been in sales your whole life. So what got you into driver recruiting? Because that is like, it's more recruiting, but like you're selling to someone. Like it's pretty intricate. What, like, did you come from a trucking background?
Well, I come from a truck driver family. I come from a military family. My uncles and everybody in Army. That's the branch that they were in. Truck driver family. That is not the reason why I got into it. I answered an ad, right? And I liked it, but I did not know I loved it until I thought I was going to start another business, and I thought I was going to have to go part-time. And there is no part-time in trucking. You either are in it, you're either one of us or you're one of them. That's how I feel. You're one of us or you're the enemy. So I should have said that first. There should be a disclosure that comes after my name. She's a Virgo. I come with a disclosure. Those small letters on the back of bottles. But that's when I realized that I loved it. And then I poured me into it. And that also is when the scaling came. Because at first I liked it and I believed in it and it was important to me. And I come from a trucker family and all of that. So I know, but I didn't know that much about trucks, right? I knew the importance of it. I knew what a dry van was, intermodal, all of that, but I didn't know. And didn't care to know. Well, I'm from Chicago. Well, like, what do I need to know about that for, right? But when I felt when I was going to start another business and I thought I was going to have to kind of scale back off of the recruiting, and I felt that somebody was taking something away from me, that's when I poured everything into it and had Larry Johnson. I don't know if you all know him, but Sterling Recruiting, that's who really got me involved in this, been my mentor, not just in trucking, but in life with a lot of stuff. He's been in trucking since BC times, but he's out of Georgia, and I had him really tell me like the intricacies of trucks. I know more about the dealings, quote unquote, under the hood of a truck than I know about a car.
All right, so you talk about the intricacies. So let's get intricate. Why do you love it? You say you realized you loved it once you thought you had to stop doing it less. But what is it about it that you realized you love so much? Is it helping people get a good job? Is it just talking to individuals? Is it just the sales process? Why do you love it, Kameel?
Because you can literally not have an 8th grade education and make a good, honest living for yourself and be able to come home to your mama's house and her not be ashamed that you sitting at the Thanksgiving table with her. That's what it is for me.
I love it. You got to.
That's literally, and that's a story that I tell because I have boys, right? And at that time, it was more of my oldest that I'm thinking about. Now he's 24, but then he wasn't. And that's the one that I'm thinking about. Like, I want him to be able to know that there's an industry where he can make an honest living for himself. And because I'm literally that mother. If you do something in life that I don't approve of, you cannot come to my house. So I'm not that mother that says, I welcome you all the time. You can always come home. No, you can't. And no, you won't. And I don't approve of you nor your spouse. So I'm literally that mother. Like, you can't walk up my walkway or any of that. So I know that there are a lot of families like me. And it's important that a man feels respect for what he brings home to take care of his family and to take care of his mom. That's what it means for me.
All right, show's over. Kameel has really just said all that needs to be to say. We appreciate everybody fucking joining us.
That's how
we don't know. We don't know where else to go after that one.
Yeah. That is truly how I feel about it. So like that, but that's it.
I like that. Kameel, I do. You know, I dabbled in recruiting for a very short amount of time before I fell into brokering. Only reason I got away with it is because I worked for a fucking moron. I mean, like literally, this lady would call me and ask me for advice on how to recruit drivers and run her business. Yeah, this shit isn't working. So, but I enjoyed it because as a driver that watched other drivers come into the industry, or even drivers that have been in it that just didn't know, you know, helping them find a good job and give them information and education about where to go, even if they didn't sign up with the company that I represented. You know, I felt good about being able to use the 10 years that I spent out there on the road, being OTR, regional, local, all the experiences I had, all the various money that I made, all those things, you know, and being able to pass that along and help, you know, like you said, these individuals get good paying jobs. I mean, I'm not putting down anything about truck drivers, but Kameel's like, literally, you don't need much more than knowing how to drive, do simple math, read and write English. to drive a truck. And again, that's not downplaying it. It's just saying that it's an easy career field to get into, and you can do very well in it if you're passionate about it. So, man, I love that, Kameel.
Yeah.
That's my thing. My wife's so much. She's like, babe, you love everything. But I do. I love that.
Yeah, so I'm very passionate about it. Sometimes, overly passionate. They want, to put me out the house and stuff when I get to talking about it. But I'm pretty passionate about that. It's very important.
I'll say this as a side note. One thing that throws me off is that you're from Chicago, because everything that you just said is straight Southern folk. Talk about you cannot come to my dinner table and you do not do like I'm shocked that
you can't even walk up my walkway.
My wife is the same way.
Yeah, like don't play in there, and my kids know that, and I have done that to them already. So they know that. I don't want you to do, you don't have to follow my path. What I am expecting you to do is to be a good human being. That's what I expect.
I agree. I told my wife and my sons all the time, like, hey, my only job is to make sure that when you leave my house, you're a fucking functioning, productive member of society.
That part.
Beyond that, I don't care. You go into McDonald's the rest of your life. As long as your ass is paying taxes and I ain't have to support you, I'm good. All right.
That part.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need. It's all I need. Okay, so we talked about your passion, how you got into it, and but poof, boom, it's gone, bro. Gone.
That's what happens when you turn 40.
No, that's what happens when you have a traumatic brain injury.
That can happen too.
It's gone, bro. It's gone. But thank you for telling me how old I am, Kameel. I appreciate it.
I mean, I'm older than you, so I know that's what happens at 40.
I'm gonna take Robert Cox from LinkedIn. I'm gonna take his saying. When we were talking about age, he's in his 70s, and he says, I'm about to celebrate my 33rd anniversary of turning 40. That's what he says. That's what he says. Oh man. So yeah, completely gone. I'll find it in a minute. Somebody babble. We'll figure it out. We'll fucking come back.
So how do you go about finding drivers, Kameel? Because we talked to a lot of recruiters in the brokerage space, and I guess just all across the industry. But I think the only person we've ever spoke to is Dr. Phil about driver recruiting. How's that process look for you?
Well, I've been in it for a million years, but also I'm just old school sales, right? And so I believe in picking up the phone, doing your old school, recruiting type methods. And then, the fact that building a database all of this time, and now you have so much new technology that brings and forces leads to you. And then we're in the social media space, right? In a media space, we have the Rig on Wheels podcast show. So with saying that, those are the type of things that bring us leads and bring awareness to what we have going on. So all you need is leads, a niche, and you in business.
So how do you go? I mean, it just kind of blows me away though, because like you got LinkedIn and you can see everybody that works in the logistics space, but you don't have a whole lot of drivers there. Like, is there a driver centric like lead database that you were using beforehand? Because like obviously now you have your platform, you have your following, so those leads come in naturally.
Yeah, and it's not LinkedIn. You do have some drivers on LinkedIn though, but I love TikTok for drivers.
Yeah.
Instagram has some, Facebook has some, but over the years, when you talk about social media and things like that, there has been years that Facebook has been tremendous, right? Yeah. because Facebook worked so well with ZipRecruiter years ago. And then they broke up. And then now, TikTok. But everything is starting to be TikTok and things like that. So you have to keep up with whatever is going on. My thing that I always tell people is continue to educate yourself. Always just continue. I know, just like Dr. Phil does, continue to educate yourself. Just like Charlie, she does everything but drivers, but it's the same thing. We all continue to educate ourselves. But another thing is, once you figure out what your niche is, because even though Dr. Phil and I both do drivers, our niches are different.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to dig into. I'm glad you brought that up. So, like, what is your niche? Are you
okay?
More
So I do company drivers, right? I definitely do company drivers, but also we are as well are specialized. So we have oversized carriers. We have deal with fuel companies that need help here and there. So we also deal with those type of situations as well. So if you have trucking companies that are not your regular drive van, US Express, we all have those. Love them, right? Your MVT, everybody knows that I love them. However, we also have our oversized carriers. We have quite a few Canadian based companies that actually need drivers in the United States for their United States companies. So we do things like that. And that comes from, to be honest with you, the DEI space.
That's pretty interesting, because I figured it'd be, one size fits all type operation.
Yeah, no. And I think I believe it's once you get in it and feel your way around and become your true self. That's what I tell people, like, be your authentic self. Charlie had something today, I think it was today or yesterday, the days go together. That's why I try to tell Robert, it's not the brain injury, is his age, right? Because I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday or the day before when Charlie said this, but be your authentic self, because it's crazy that us being specialized in certain things is the reason why we have oversized carriers, because they come from the Canadian space. And they appreciate the fact that we have recruiters that speak different languages.
Canada, fucking Jesus Lord! I'm telling you what, I've only had 2.5 beers. Canada is definitely a diverse place when it comes to drivers, especially a lot of people from India, Middle East,
Yeah,
a lot of those things.
All of that. And we don't hire anybody in Canada. It's still the fact that it's all United States based.
Yeah, but still, even here,
they might be headquartered, or their parent company is headquartered, and all their subsidiaries are here in the States.
Well, Hunter actually came around about to what question I was going to ask, which was what type of drivers that you deal with when it comes to recruiting. When I did it for the short amount of time, the lady I dealt with, she worked for all the big companies. It was US Express. I think Mesilla Valley was one of them.
Yeah.
All those and that type of stuff. So that was actually the question I was going to ask: is what space were you in? And I'm like,
yeah, and I do those as well. I love them. Everybody knows I love MVT. Shout out to Robert Pearson. But I definitely do all of those. But all of us have our niches, and how we come about them might be different.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Hey, don't be afraid to throw shade at fucking Charles. Fuck you, Charles.
No, I love Charles because I watch
we
him.
love Charles. Charles,
Yeah,
is
I love Charles. You know, because
he's
I
awesome.
watch him and I'm like, okay, I like that. I like the way he
like
moves.
that.
Yeah, I
Charles
like
is awesome.
the way that he does that.
Doogie Houndier is actually Charles's designated boat babysitter. Last week. So,
oh wow.
Before we move on to the actual driver stuff, I have one question I want to ask you about carriers, and this comes from a place as one of the things that I've done, not money wise, but I've even though I'm a broker, my passion is carriers, is drivers. I was a driver for 2.5 years. I love driving. My knowledge in trucking is just ridiculous. And so I helped a few people start their companies up, hire drivers, what kind of equipment to buy, these type of things. And small carriers, like a friend of mine, he has just a couple of trucks. They deal with the same issue in turnover. Our whole industry, when it comes to drivers, drivers are like anyone else in a specialized field. They're trying to find the next biggest, better thing that pays them the most, give them the best benefits, all these type of things. So, what about those smaller fleets? Maybe you don't deal with them, but what type of advice maybe could you offer as a recruiter to those 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 truck operators that are having issues recruiting drivers? Could you offer maybe anything to them? Would that be something you would take on, or should they reach out to a recruiter, or what?
Yeah, so I have a few things. One, I wrote a book directly for those folk, and it's on the website, and it's so they can compete in that particular market. Let me bring up all of the information on it, because I don't like talking off the cuff because I mess up. Because what happens so much is small companies assume, and they assume that they are competing with other small companies, but you're not. The reason why your drivers are leaving, it might be the same. We think it's the same reason why U.S. Express drivers leaving, but a lot of times it's not. They're leaving because they're looking at the larger companies and what the larger companies are doing. My Wi-Fi in here isn't working that well.
See, I felt the same way. I do a lot of smaller companies offer incentives that others don't. The smaller environment, the actual real, feeling of type family. Would they help you out financially without expecting anything back? Those type of deals. But the larger companies offer, or obviously offer this, just like any other industry with a larger company. You have benefits, that those things that are affordable. You have retirement accounts, you have newer equipment, you have maintenance.
Yes.
That you're talking about. There's a lot more incentive there, and that's what I passed on to my friend. I said, hey man, really the only thing that you can do is just have the best equipment that you can possibly have.
Absolutely.
Offer the highest pay that you can afford, and any other type of incentives that you can offer to your drivers, like quarterly bonuses. You have an EOD. EODs do keep track of idle time, regardless of whether people think they do or not. They do. They show when the truck is on, when the truck is off. All of these type of stuff. These things that the larger companies offer. Just find a way that it makes sense for you financially.
Yeah. And I was gonna pull up the book, but it's basically being able to compete with the giants.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely what to do, and you can't do it dollar for dollar, but you can do things that are not represented. It doesn't represent the dollar, but it still represents what the dollar represents. So, for an example, there are things that we do as small business owners, both of you all do, and you put it on your credit card, right? Well, your credit card gets points. with those points, if you know that your driver is about to go out on the road, how about get him a Walmart gift card so he can get him some groceries? Things like that. But yes, have good equipment. Drivers leave the most because equipment. That's why they leave. Also, get your driver home when you told them they were going to get home.
I feel that. I never had that problem. I was one of them drivers. I'll stop this motherfucking truck right here, right now. Well, I'll just come repower it. Good luck taking the trailer off my fucking truck.
That's what I'm talking about. You know,
But anyway,
like, don't play games with these men and women. Like, stop doing that. Why? Don't do that.
Before I get this question, I'll tell you, and this is a 100% true story. When I was at Night Refrigerated, I got a job with Performance Food Group. And I gave them a notice. You know, I'm not that kind of dirtbag. I always give my jobs notice. And I was in Idaho. I'll never forget this. I was in Idaho, and they were supposed to be sending me home because I believe it was a Tuesday, and I started work that following Tuesday with Performance Food Group. Said, hey man, you guys need to start riding me home. I need to be home in time. You know, get my shit in order. Blase, so on. And my dispatcher sent me a load going to California, and used the whole, oh well, sometimes I have to send you in the opposite direction. Dude, I get that, but motherfucker, I've been working for y'all long enough. I know what lanes you run, and I know that you have a lane from here that goes directly to Dallas. Point is, I told him, I said, look, I'm going to sit here at this truck stop, and when you find me a load that goes towards Texas, I'll go and pick it up. Until then, this is where I'm at. And he, tried to threaten me, tell me all this crazy stuff. And when I was in Night Refrigerator, I was one of the first 50 drivers they ever hired. And the VP, I knew them. Or the president, because he used to be the owner of the company Night bought out. Point is I emailed that guy and said, hey man, this is what's going on. I've done nothing but be good to you people. There's no reason for you to treat me like this. And this is just totally unacceptable. And I don't know, like 3 hours later, I got a load to the fucking house. And that was another deal. It's like, even with recruitment, and we talk about retention, I told you I was leaving. Instead of trying to retain me, you just were going to let me go. And then when I was ready to go, you threatened me with putting stuff, I don't know, or I don't think is DAC a thing anymore, Kameel?
Yeah, it's still a thing. Okay. Yeah, it's still a thing.
Yeah, back then it was DAC. I'll put this on your DAC that you banned, and all this stuff like that. And it's like, that's how you treated me and stuff. But I was that driver. I did not play that stuff. I do my work for you, and I do good for you. I expect you to do good for me. What I want to move on to, while in the short amount of time that we have left, is I want to talk about the drivers. Okay. We all know that we have a very, very high turnover rate in the truck driving sector. It has always been that way. It's always going to be that way. And, depending on who you ask, we have a truck driver shortage, but we won't get into that bull crap. Here's what I want to know is, what type of advice do you have with these drivers? Let's start with, say, their employment history. I noticed job hopping is a big thing with drivers now. When I drove, if you job hop, you did it maybe twice, and then your ass was not getting another job with a driver. So, what are some tips and tricks do you have for drivers, or some advice for them to be good candidates to be hired by these type of companies that they want to be hired by?
Right. So let me start out saying some of this job hopping mess is our fault because we allowed it in the truck driving culture. Right. But we don't want drivers. F that. Like, we don't want that. We want professional drivers. That is the thing. I do not advocate for M&F drivers, because that is the reason why we have regulations made by people that think the battery is at the front of the truck, right? Is because of that. See, my team about to be mad at me because of this whole podcast. See, it's all your fault. It's all your fault, Pedro.
They gonna love you after this podcast. We get real in here.
But literally, it's because of that, because of drivers. We don't want that. We need to have professional drivers. My uncle was a professional driver. That's what it was. Now, there's some things. Protect your MVR. That is more important than your credit score. Have a good credit score. Please do not have your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad upset at me. But what I'm saying is that it's very, very important. The job hopping, don't do that. Give a carrier a chance to figure things out. Sometimes you will have, the minute something goes wrong or you don't like somebody's attitude, they job hop. You are not at this job to make friends. I don't know if your mama did not tell you that, but I am telling you, just like I tell my daughter, you did not go to those people's job to make friends.
I love that. Oh, I say that.
That is not what you went for. You need to know when you go to this job, what are you there for? And it needs to be more than a paycheck. And the reason why I say that is because when something goes wrong, it needs to be why are you there, right? So if you're there because you need X amount of experience in this before you move on. So when that dispatcher says something ignorant, you're not just throwing in a towel, because they will, because they had a bad day, because they old lady said something that pissed them off. Don't ruin your career because somebody old lady pissed them off. Just think about that rationale right quick. People make career moves because somebody else did something in somebody else's household. That's one thing. Another thing, slow down on this criminal stuff. Times have changed and nobody want to deal with all of your criminal behavior anymore. They do not. For an example, your internal recruiters cannot say the things that I can say. That is the difference of dealing with a third-party recruiter than dealing directly with an internal recruiter at the company. So let me give you an example. You are have had a string of fighting in the bars. You have one too many whiskeys and you get to fighting, right? You have misdemeanors or felonies or whatever. It's time has passed. Don't let anybody tell you that it's a 7-year thing. It could be, but it's still there on your record unless you got it expunged. So when you have several speeding tickets, it comes to be the same thing. You're still too high strung. It shows a pattern. So now, let me put you in a scenario. That truck that collided with that Honda that took out that church and those good Christian people can't go to church on Sunday, if they pull up that he had a record, then he does all this speeding, the VP that okayed that he got recruited, all the way to the operations that okayed, then they have to go into these depositions in the court. Everybody losing their job. Do you think the VP of recruiting at that company is going to take a chance because you 15 years ago couldn't handle your whiskey at the local lounge down the street, and then you have 3 speeding tickets? It's literally that I'm not taking, if I was the VP at those companies, I'm not risking my family livelihood over that. That's how things are now. The rule of 3. Don't have 3 bad things. It's now. It's the rule of 2. You can't be both. You can't be fat and short. Pick a struggle. That's literally what I told my team. Pick a struggle. Now, and I'm short, and I'm not gonna call myself fat. I'm just trying to tell you what when I go to the doctor, what they tell me. I need to be on keto. And my doctor told me I need to pick a struggle and I can't get taller. But like, there are companies that the 3-strike rule that driver can still go to, but then you can't be upset that you're not making the money that you feel like that you deserve. Thank God I'm tall. I was supposed to be
That's
tall.
all. It didn't show, but that's Nate Johnson.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be tall. Something happened. Somebody forgot. And I'm not even 5'3". But like it's you so things are changing. The industry is requiring professional drivers again. But we're gonna back up off these drivers. If the drivers have to be professional, these dang blasted carriers need to be professional and have to train their staff to be professional. These dispatchers have to talk to these men and women like they have some sense, and everybody else has to do the same thing. That's just, we're all under pressure. We're all under pressure. Take a step back and know that we're in logistics. This is a 24/7, 7 days a week job. If you can't take the pressure, quit. So somebody that is good enough to take the pressure can do it. That's why you're either one of us or you're not. It's literally just that simple. That's my thought about it. So I believe that our drivers have to realize your CDL is the end all be all, and you have to clean up your criminal background. You cannot be out here just willy-nilly, and your MVR is connected to your criminal because it shows a pattern.
Though that's I like that you bring it up. And Frederick, man, this comment right here, brother, was perfect for what I'm about to say. One of the first points that you made, Kameel, was you are not here to make friends. Man, that is literally my fucking saying when it comes to work. Do I make friends at work? Yes. But like, I'm not here to make friends. We're not cool.
Mm-mm.
We're here to do a job together. This is what we do. Like, I love that you said that, because a lot of people, they get that shit twisted. They go in there and they think just because Sharon talks to them every day before she gives them their load and all these things, that's their best buddy. She gonna take care of them no matter what happens. And they don't realize when it comes down to it, Sharon got bills to pay. Someone's gonna get thrown under the bus. It ain't gonna be Sharon. And even Johnny and Bobby and Susie, everybody, they all think like that. People go there, they get relaxed, and they think they because people talk to them and they feel their friends, they can make mistakes and do stuff. I've said this before on the show. I only worked for mega carriers, except for my first one. And all of them were carriers that other people told me to stay away from. I never had a bad time. Never once.
Yeah.
Night Refrigerated, that was the only instance I ever had bad with them. Rest of that, nothing. Never. Anything. Worked for US Express, same thing. Never had a fucking problem. McLean Food Group, PFG, all these companies. And why? Because I went there to work and make a paycheck. I wasn't there to talk shit with the transportation manager. I wasn't telling them nothing. Those people knew nothing about me. You weren't on my Facebook, my IG, none of that shit. And I made good money. I did good things. I got, good bonuses and promotions, whatever it was, as far as pay. So I love that you bring that up. That is a very good point. People, especially drivers, in this industry, need to understand that, man, not everyone out there is your friend. You need to go there. You need to be there for work. You need to be about business, and you need to be professional, which is what ends that. I like that you said that. Be a professional. That's what you are, a professional driver. And, the thing with the companies, recruiters, dispatchers, fleet managers, I agree so much with you on that as well. A lot of those people, and we can add brokers on this. A lot of those folks couldn't even get in the truck and fucking start it. You couldn't even get it out of first. Well, now you could, because they're all automatics, because we're an industry of sissies. But if it was a standard, you couldn't even get that shit in first gear and make it move. You know what I mean? So don't talk to these men and women like you know better than them when you can't even go out there and do their job, period. So it's a big thing, but I think it really boils down to, with drivers really being professional. Protect your CDL. That is so important. I don't think a lot of drivers realize that their CDL is also their regular driver's license. You don't have a Class C and then a Class A. They're not different. It's the same thing. I'll use an example from a few years ago. I got pulled over by a cop. I think I came to a stop. He says I didn't. Pulled me over. He ran my stuff, came back to me, says, hey, I see you have a CDL. I'm not going to give you a ticket because I know that could affect your job. My dad is a driver. But that's the thing is, in my POV, I could have fucked my driving career and a possibility to get another job all because, I didn't come to a full stop at a stop sign. Your criminal history, very good point. When you go to apply to bank don't hire people with shitty credit scores. There's a reason for that. You know what I mean? Trucking companies, they don't want people bad MVRs. They don't want people with bad behavior, folks that have problems with, like you said, fights and assaults and all that stuff. So I love those points. I don't think that drivers understand that everything they do in life matters. Here in Texas is an example. If you drink one beer, if you have a CDL, one beer could be considered driving under the influence under our law. Only if you have a CDL. It's 0.8 for all Class C drivers, but if you have a CDL, I think it's 0.4 or 0.3, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's because you are a professional.
Go.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a professional, right? You might not even want me to drive my Acura. Okay. I don't back up well, even with the little camera thing up in there. At one point I used to use my bumpers for the original use, but it's you are a professional. It's like anything, you have to be held to a higher standard. That's just what it is. But the reason I just don't want to advocate for people that aren't doing right, because the folk that never really been in a truck, never, just all of that stuff, make regulations about our industry, and it makes it tough for the drivers that are really out here trying to do and want to do. So that's my stance on it. And I'm very passionate, and I can go on. I could talk trucking for a long
time. I could too. Like I said, I'm a broker, but I mean, man, I love fucking trucking, man.
Yeah.
I do. I love it. I'm serious. There is nothing like going down the highway at 70 miles an hour in 75 feet of fucking truck, just cruising with the music blasting and talking on the CV. Yeah, man, I love some trucking, man. Trucking is the real business right there, for real. So beep bleep blah blah. My last question, Kameel, is about the companies that are recruiting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know that you're kind of like a broker, honestly, in a sense. You're a liaison. You're a liaison between the company that has trucks and freight that needs to hire a driver and the driver that is looking for freight or for a job. I'm sorry.
Right.
So what is some of your advice for these companies that are out there recruiting of any size, whether it be mega
communication, just the same thing as I say to the drivers, is basically the same thing. Thanks, Fred. Is the same thing that I say to the companies. I'm gonna be honest with you, communication. So when I'm dealing with a company, especially a new company, it's the same type of, and what I mean by new company, I don't mean like new company as far as doing it, but new company to us, holding their hand through the process, because some haven't dealt with third-party recruiting, and then some haven't dealt with us in our process before. But communication. The better you communicate with us or the driver, the better you will be able to retain your driver, because we are the first face or voice that the driver hears. So the better we're able to communicate and build a picture for your driver, the better it'll be. Because the one thing you don't want is for us to tell a driver one thing, they get on the phone with you and it's a different thing. And then they get to orientation and it's a different thing. Nobody wants that bait and switch, right? And sometimes it's not that you're baiting and switching, it's literally just that the communication wasn't good enough. That sort of thing. But to a driver, it'll sound like a lie. So it's better to tell me more than not. You can never tell your partner or your liaison too much. Give us more info.
I like that, and I'll expand on it, Kameel. And this is not a dig at you, but this is what I was looking for: fucking honesty. Be honest.
Yeah, be honest.
And
the reason why I didn't want to say that, some carriers, they lie intentionally, right?
They don't. It's all intentional. They know what they're doing, girl.
Yeah, but some nowadays, the reason why I don't really want to pick on them that much is because nowadays, the climate we in, they getting bit in the butt, right? Because shippers ain't playing that game no more. It used to be the insurance companies was running the game. Now it's the shippers that's running the game. That's saying F you if you don't have 99.2% of everything correct. 98.9 is not cutting it anymore. Honest and willing to guide the people. Yes, thank you so much. I'm so passionate because I do not want anybody. My son is 24 years old, okay? And he is still a boy. He's 24. And I don't want anybody guiding. He drives for Amazon. I don't want anybody guiding him wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm very passionate about that. And before he was old enough to drive, it was the other things that I was talking about. So I always see him when I'm dealing with folk. You know, that's what it is. And then I always want to represent somebody's company appropriately. That's why I try to ask as many questions as possible, because I want to know. And then also I want to know the culture of your company, right? Because all of us, for an example, let's talk about Charles and I. We both are third party truck driving recruitment agencies, right? But staff and my staff are different. I would probably ruin his staff's mental health. And that's a fact.
That's fucked up. That's wrong.
Damn, right?
Damn it.
My staff, they meet. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, just calm down. You know, like it's okay. But you know, they're younger versions of me. So they have a lot more energy. And I just be like, was I like this at 20 and 30? And then one of my rock stars, she is in Canada and she's 20. I'm like, oh my goodness, was this me at 20? But so that as well, that's another thing. We both do the same business, but two different company cultures, right? So that's the reason why I like to get on the phone and talk to the carriers, because I want to know what kind of culture you have, because that makes a difference when we talk about who needs to be at your company.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Frederick, Kameel. I'm glad you invited him. Hey, Fred, dude, go follow our LinkedIn, man. Go follow our X. You're a former driver. You own trucks. You're company owner, dude. We hope to see you in the comments more. Let's bring you on the show. Let's talk about your 20 years in this industry. I don't think you've ever watched a show before. I've never seen you comment, but man, this is a space for everybody.
20 years?
That's what he said right there. 20 plus years in the industry. I've seen it all, worked my way up to owning a company, came home to be with my family, at least until the industry kids are grown. Dude, yeah, Fred, we'd love to have you come and chime in. We do Freestyle Fridays all the time. Drivers are a big part of our audience. You're watching on LinkedIn, but X is where all of our drivers follow us at and stuff. So, man, please follow and continue to watch. I will call a company out in a heartbeat, LOI, why I went solo. Hey, I was the same way as a driver, man. I don't know. I think it's just because I had a good trainer, and my trainer taught me. He just trained me good, man. Told me, hey,
Shout out to those trainers.
no, dude. Hey, I was fortunate. The guy I drove with, I still talk to him. Still talk to him today. His name is Donnie Powell. His dad and his mom had like 40 years combined when I started driving with him in 2008. And so who knows, whatever they got now and stuff. But man, he taught me the ways. He told me, hey, this is what you need to do if you want to move up. Protect your CDL, protect your NVR. All of these things. Give me all the tips and tricks. Don't take shit from these, dispatchers, fleet managers. Stand your ground if you know you got ground to stand on, and all those things. And I did very well. I did. I progressed very well in my career. The only reason I really went to college to get out of driving is because I peaked, and I was making $90,000 a year at McLean, being a local driver. I mean, there ain't much more money you can make as a company driver beyond 90 grand a year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
McLean does very well for their drivers.
Hey, I'll tell you, if you are a driver that wants to be local, and you can deal with unloading a truck and all the fucked up hours that come with it, I highly recommend McLean. I do. They have an incredible retirement plan, great bonuses. The benefits are absolutely amazing. The pay was fucking stellar. I was 88,000 a year. That was in 2015. I can imagine what those guys are making now. You know what I'm saying? So,
years ago.
I love McLean, and they're a Texas-born company. I mean, so
that's it. That's
that ends it all for me. Hey, again, Fred, dude, come back. You're welcome anytime, man. Make sure you follow our page and everything. Kameel, we got to start wrapping it up. I've got some other things that I need to handle after I get off here, and I know you've got your meeting as well. We could spend so much time on this. Like I said, drivers, even though I'm a broker, I've said it a million times that I love my drivers. I do.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
them. I understand their struggle, and I really wished, honestly, my thing is I wish drivers sometimes would just shut the fuck up and listen. Just period.
Yeah. But not even all of us, you know what? That's all of us.
No, it is, but I think drivers, they have a different mindset. They do. They have a different mindset. They have this, they're out there by themselves. They're free. They're doing their own thing, kind of like captain of your own ship. They're in control of that truck. They pick up, they deliver, they make all the rules in a sense while that truck is in motion. And I think when other people come in, like dispatchers, fleet managers, even brokers, and they start trying to tell you how to do your job, nobody likes that. But drivers take it even more personally because they don't know that maybe the person giving you advice has driven a truck before and they understand. And I think sometimes they take that a little more personal. I know because I was that driver. I used to hate when someone would come and tell me how to do something or try to give me advice that wasn't in a truck, and then come to find out it's like, okay, well, that person drove for 40 years. I probably should have just shut the fuck up and listened to what they were saying, and I wouldn't be in this position. But, just do your job. I feel Kameel was right. Go to work and do your job. It's great to make friends, but you're not there to make friends. Protect your CDL by protecting your MVR, your criminal history. Protect your job history by not job hopping.
Yes.
I think those things are very, very important, and a lot of people miss it because I think, especially in this time right now with things being hard, we're all trying to look for the bigger, better thing. What's going to give me the most money, the best home time, the most benefits, all that stuff like that. Sometimes you don't realize that you could get that where you're at if you would just stand up and ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell you that. Kameel, what other exiting comments, questions, advice, updates? Maybe you want to give yourself some plugs before we hop out this piece?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know that you are in a space where you have a lot of owner operators. You also have people that need help with finding jobs. So yes, Rig on Wheels, we are a recruiting agency and we definitely can help you. But I am also the head of jobs at trucktractortrailer.com. So we have a robust job board that is specialized in waiting for you. It is for everything, not just truck drivers, but everything from supply chain, logistics, transportation, everything. So whether it's you're a driver, you're looking for a broker, it does not matter. We have great incoming, and you have the ability to be grandfathered in with these rates. That is right now. Also, if you are associations, if you are an agency yourself, you can build it where we'll have special bulk pricing for you. So there we go. But with us, with Rig on Wheels, you can follow us everywhere. It's just Rig on Wheels.
Hell yeah. And what about you, Kameel? Where all can we find you personally?
Or you can find me personally. So I'm on IG, and I am, Kameel Gaines. And then, of course, LinkedIn. That's the best place to find me. And then I'm on Twitter as well.
I love that. And actually, hey, Kameel, do you promote LinkedIn to drivers?
Yeah, I promote LinkedIn to drivers. I think LinkedIn is a great place. LinkedIn and YouTube, in my opinion, are great places because they have better education on there. It's so much coming at drivers all the time, and it's not always the best advice.
I agree. I just wanted to have your take on that. Hunter and I are big proponents of trying to get drivers on LinkedIn. We keep telling
my God.
All the information that you complain that you can't have access to is on fucking LinkedIn. Like, all you have to do is...
if you want to know everything that you don't feel you have access to is on LinkedIn.
We will literally end it, or not end it, but kind of end it on this. Jeff and John's podcast. Literally, hey, we are talking about a former shipper that used to work for Ford, Mr. Jeff Dickinson, who is now a broker, and John Brewer, who is head of transportation for one of the largest restaurant groups in the country. These guys are going to do a podcast together and talk about the fucking things that they like to see, that they want to hear, that they're looking for, that they need from you drivers and even from brokers and stuff. And they're not on Facebook. They're on LinkedIn.
They're on LinkedIn.
I'm telling you, all you drivers out there, y'all are missing stuff by not being on LinkedIn. Sage, as usually, you're fucking late. As usual. I don't know about that, Sage. I don't know.
Oh, Sage, I would love to be on your podcast.
You say that until you meet him.
I don't know that.
No, that would probably be good. Yeah, Sage is a big overweight OD guy.
Is that his face? That's his face?
Yes.
He looks like a model. I need to be on.
He actually does over-dimensional freight. That's his specialty. All he does is OD OS freight. That's it. Yeah.
I'm your girl.
Yeah, we'll hook you up. Sage is on LinkedIn actually too, so I'll start the connection with you two on there, and then y'all can connect other places. But yeah, we love Sage. Sage is a fucking good friend of us. Been with us from almost the start. So, Mr. Hound.
Yeah.
What
Kameel,
about you?
I just want to say you like you got that passion. So if I was a driver, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know I didn't chime in too much, but like this is one of those always trying to learn about it, because it is super interesting to me, like keeping drivers on the road, like taking care of them. And I love the point that, you bring it back to where it's business, but like it's personal business to you. Like you're not sitting at my table if you're not about business, and like it's that give and take, and like I'll give you as much as you give me. So I'm a huge advocate for that. Like it's just cool to see, and like honestly learning about the different sides of it, like it's awesome. Love your story, and yeah.
Thank you.
Let me say something. Damn it, I hate Instagram. Fucking Charles was watching the whole time. He's on. Damn it. He was watching on Instagram, and the comments didn't come through, bro.
Working in the shadows, man. Working in the shadows.
Oh man, that sucks, dude. Oh, Charles, if you're still watching, bro, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your name, but Aldo, man, sorry, dude. I didn't see your comment. He said, Hunter, what's up, brother? Aldo Vites. That's who that was.
Oh, Vites, what's up?
Yeah,
I don't know who's running that, but
no. I mean, his name is Aldo.
Oh, Aldo. Oh, that's
yeah.
my boy. What's up, Al?
Yeah. He said, "What's up, man? Hey, sorry, y'all. We just started streaming to Instagram. Like last few shows, haven't kind of figured out how to get the comments over here yet. So I guess now I know that we'll have to watch that. But man, that sucks. We're talking so much shit about Charles, and he was watching the whole time and commented. Dang it!
That's funny. Y'all got to teach us after y'all figure that out, because we don't start streaming on Instagram yet, because we like, oh my god, how we do that?
If you use StreamYard, it's easy. You literally just Google how do you stream to Instagram from StreamYard. It's real easy, but yeah, obviously we haven't figured it out. I didn't know comments didn't feed through, so now I got to figure that crap out. So, but it's a little extra step, but it's actually pretty easy to figure out, Kameel.
Okay. That's how she figured out. She figures everything out. She's like a genius.
Yeah, I mean, I literally Googled how to stream to Instagram from StreamYard, and it pulls up StreamYard's tutorial page, and it tells you exactly how to fucking do it. It's actually really easy. But the only thing on Instagram is I think it only goes for like an hour, I believe. So whatever. But Kameel, love to have you on the show.
This is the best.
You're welcome. Welcome anytime. This is how we do it here. We're just chilling, drinking brewskis. I know you couldn't drink any with us tonight because you have to drive, which is fantastic. That's being responsible. Lovely.
Gotta be responsible. Something about that whole responsible thing they make me do.
I know. Who likes responsibility? I'm telling you.
Especially now since I'm a grandma. I gotta really be
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm telling you, your kids are gonna dislike you for how well you treat that grandkid.
Yeah, they already like, oh my god, you didn't do this for us. I'm like, so what?
Like I don't like you. I don't like your ass as much as I like them.
Right? Like I really don't like you all. Like I like him. I really like this kid.
Like there's a difference. I loved you guys, but I love and like
him. Like I really like this kid. It's different.
That's so true. That's the way my dad is, man. He was the shit he does with my kids. Like, motherfucker, you never did that with us. You sorry son of a gun, man.
Yeah, that's what they say. You never did that with us. I'm like, but y'all not the same. Like,
yeah. Hey, you know what they say though. Grandkids are your second chance as a parent. You learned all those mistakes, and you get to use all that knowledge that you learned, being a parent and use that as being a grandparent. And so I
absolutely. And it's like I get to love my oldest son all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just it's wonderful.
I'm so happy for you, Kameel. I am. I can't wait to be grandpa, but I can wait.
Yeah, I understand. I just need him to I only need to love him just with this one.
That's it.
I don't need him to let me love multiple.
She said one and done, fool. Stop.
Right.
I'm with you. Kameel, again, like, just thank you for coming on, giving us a different perspective from the recruiting aspect of things, just like brokers and even, carriers, everybody, people may be in the same space, but everybody has a different approach to how they do that specific job function. And, I think it's great that we're able to highlight different people from the same industry, specifically with you being recruiters and showing, hey, some people work this way, some people work that way. This is how we differentiate and how we like to do things. And I love the information you shared with us. I love where your heart is, love where your mind is, and your passion for working with drivers. That's great because this industry, there's a lot of people in this industry that just do this shit for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And, I really think logistics is one of those things. If you're in it, you gotta love it. You gotta like it.
You gotta love it. Because if you in it for a paycheck, when the times get hard, you're gonna bail.
That's true. That is very true. Which you learned very very early on. Yeah. So I feel you. I know I'm in the same boat. But
Yeah.
we're go ahead, give our love to a final love to our sponsors. We'll do some exiting comments, and then we'll let all of you mofo's go for the day. I mean, Shoreline. What else can you say except they're sure fine? Gigo. Gigo. Know where your stuff is. I mean, really, that's all that really fucking matters, right? I mean, know where your freight is, know where your trucks are, know where anything is with Gigo. Don't forget to send me the name of that band again, Hunter. I'm gonna look him up. Odessa or whatever it is. I'm gonna look him up.
That's it.
Hey, thanks everybody for coming and chilling. We love all you.
Yeah, this is great.
It is. It's the lounge. It's absolutely amazing.
It's the lounge.
This
place to be.
It is the place to be. Don't you ever forget that, Kameel. you are welcome back anytime. As Hunter and I tell every guest comes on, you are now officially a lounge lizard. So you don't need an invite. We're on every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon. You ever got something you want to say, want to chime in the conversation, just shoot us a DM and we'll shoot you a link. You can hop on. And we've followed all your social media. Please do the same thing to us, Kameel. And if there's anything we could do for you, please let us know. And if there's anything you can do for us, we will let you know.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thanks for having me, y'all.
You're welcome. You can chill for the next few minutes. And I know I was gonna say, God dang it, I'm telling you, bro. Woo-wee, fucking brain poops is going out today. Tomorrow, Mr. Joe Daniel with Gigo, the VP of Sales. He's going to come. He's going to hang out with us. We're just going to shoot the shit. We're going to drink some bourbon, maybe some whiskey, toss him back a few beers, have a Freestyle Friday type deal. He is also going to drop an update that Gigo has coming out. And next week, we have Mr. Nick Klingensmith with Stride Motivation. He's coming back. He just dropped his second book last week. And he's going to come on the show and he's going to tell us all about it. And we're just going to hang out and have a good time. We also have CDLDU. They're going to come on the show. Amazing people. We got to see them talk at Matt's with Dale Prax. And then next Friday, we have EF Routing, some amazing folks that I met at the Texas Trucking Show. They're going to come on and talk about how routing and efficiency in routing, amongst other things, will help you drivers to save money, save time, make more money, and make more time. So with that, we'll bid everyone adieu. We'll see y'all tomorrow. As I always say, chunk them deuces, Mr. Hound. I know you get it, baby. You get it. I know you, Kameel, living down in Houston. Chunk them deuces, girl. I know you get it now. You know, you got to be from Texas to really understand what that means. I'm telling you. Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful bean footage.